Imagine this. You stand in a crowded room, your voice drowned in the murmur of 100 others. No one turns to look. No one remembers your name. Now imagine the opposite. A figure enters, and silence falls like a blade. Every eye locks onto them, not by force, but by some unspoken magnetism. What do they know that you don't? Here's the unsettling truth. Obscurity is a fate worse than failure. To be ignored is to be powerless. Friedrich Nietzsche saw it first. The demand to be loved is the greatest of all arrogant presumptions. Love is secondary. Attention is the currency of influence. But how do you command it without begging? Without becoming a spectacle? The paradox gnaws at you. To rise, you must be seen. But to be seen, you must first understand the dark art of presence. Let's tear it open. Why do so many remain invisible, their brilliance fading into the background? Because society rewards not just competence, but theatrics, the subtle dance of presence and perception. Friedrich Nietzsche pierced through this illusion. All great things must first wear terrifying and monstrous masks in order to inscribe themselves on the hearts of humanity. Attention is not given. It is taken, but here's the deeper wound. We've been conditioned to believe that merit alone is enough. We wait, like shadows, hoping to be noticed, yet the world worships flames, not embers. Carl Jung understood this hunger. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. And what is obscurity, if not the soul's silent scream to be acknowledged? The game is rigged. To play by the rules of humility is to lose. So why do we still hesitate? Because the fear of rejection runs deeper than the fear of irrelevance. But what if the true risk isn't standing out? It's disappearing. Consider the slow erosion of those who fade into the background, the brilliant minds whose ideas die unheard, the artists whose work gathers dust in obscurity. Their tragedy isn't failure, it's indifference. Nietzsche warned of this. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. Without attention, power slips through your fingers like sand. Modern society amplifies this silent crisis. Algorithms dictate visibility, conditioning us to seek validation in whispers rather than roars. But the brain itself is wired to prioritize what demands notice. Our neural pathways light up for the bold, the unexpected, the unignorable. To be overlooked is to surrender not just influence, but a piece of your humanity. The cost compounds in shadows, missed opportunities, unwritten legacies, a life measured in might have beens. The question isn't whether you can afford to be seen, it's whether you can afford not to be. The escape begins with a ruthless realization. Waiting for permission is surrender. History belongs to those who force the world to look. Cleopatra arriving rolled in a tapestry, Warhol turning soup cans into icons, Nietzsche himself declaring God dead in an era of blind faith. They understood law 6 in their bones. Attention is not requested, it is seized. But how? Start by rejecting the cult of modesty. Cultivate calculated eccentricity, not for its own sake, but as a deliberate strategy. Wear the mask that commands rooms, craft the phrase that lingers in minds. Become the specter that haunts conversations long after you leave. As Nietzsche wrote, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. Let them call you outrageous, better than being forgotten. This is the art of controlled spectacle. Every gesture, every silence, every word placed like a chess move. The game was always rigged. Now you rig it back. Here is the secret they never taught you. Attention is not vanity. It is oxygen for power. Nietzsche's greatest insight cuts deepest. The noble soul has reverence for itself. To shrink from the spotlight isn't humility, it's self-betrayal. The world belongs to those who refuse to be ignored because they've understood one terrifying truth. Obscurity is death in slow motion, but the final revelation. Commanding attention isn't about the crowd. It's about the self you forge in the act of being seen. Every moment you make them look, you become more real, more alive, more powerful. The mask you wear to be noticed eventually sculpts the face beneath it. This is the alchemy of Law 6. You don't just court attention, you become it. Now ask yourself, as the room turns away, as the algorithms scroll past, as history's pages threaten to remain blank, what mask will you wear to ensure they never look away again? The choice isn't theirs. It never was.